Welcome to the 2006 Covington City Commissioners Debate sponsored by CIVIC. I'm Vicki Pritchard, freelance reporter.
And I'm Luke Salvin with the Kentucky Post newspaper.
CIVIC was formed prior to the 2006 primary elections. A group of concerned neighborhood representatives met to discuss issues they felt were important to residents that might not otherwise be addressed by candidates in a public forum. In the past, because of the large number of candidates for City Commission, there was limited opportunity for comprehensive answers at established debates, and the questions were asked by media representatives rather than citizens. During the primaries, each candidate was given the opportunity to answer a number of questions in written form. CIVIC received many positive comments about this process from Covington voters, but it was difficult to disseminate this information to the public in general. Members of CIVIC appreciate the opportunity afforded by TBNK to have questions it feels important answered by candidates on a ward-by-ward basis, since Covington voters have to choose between two candidates in each of the 4 wards. CIVIC would also like to thank candidates running for Covington City Commission for their participation in these debates. In August 2005, the Covington City Commission changed the way it elects commissioners. The City Commission did not change its form of government in any way. It just changed the manner in which it conducts their election. The city now has a ward system. Covington has been broken down into 4 wards, and 1 commissioner will represent each of the 4 wards. When the time comes to elect commissioners, there is a spring primary and a fall general election. This is a nonpartisan election. There was a May primary election that narrowed down the selection of commissioners to 2 for each ward. Even though a voter only lives in 1 ward, each voter will make a decision on his or her choice of a commissioner from each of the 4 wards. A voter has 4 votes, 1 for each ward. The 2 candidates who received the most votes in the May primary election advanced to the November general election. Like the May primary vote, each voter will make a decision on who he or she likes from each ward. A voter has 4 votes, 1 for each ward. The candidate who receives the most votes in each ward is the winner. If there are no more than 2 people running for commissioner in a ward, there is no need to have a May primary election in that ward, making the 1 or 2 candidates advance to be voted for in the November general election. Covington is a city commission, city manager form of government, which means that there are 4 commissioners and a voting mayor. These 5 people are the decision makers for the city. There's already a separate election for the mayor. Since there are 4 commissioners, we are required by law to have 4 boards, 1 for each commissioner.
In the city of Covington, commissioners are elected to a 2-year term. This year, all 4 wards are contested. In Ward A, incumbent Jerry Stricker is being opposed by Warner Allen. In Ward B, incumbent Alex Edmondson is facing off against Sherry Taryn. Ward C has Mildred Raines running against Steve Megerly. In Ward D, which we'll be talking about very soon, incumbent Jerry Van Berger is being opposed by Tom Shadler. Ward D includes precinct numbers 25, 26, 30, Hands Pike number 2, and Oak Ridge, and covers the neighborhoods of Latonia and South Covington.
I'd like to begin by giving each of you an opportunity to talk about yourselves, introduce yourself. Mr. Shadler?
Thank you. My name is Tom Shadler. I'm a lifelong resident of Covington, Holmes High School graduate, and probably the only politician in the race that's made a career out of being a challenger. This is my 4th attempt for city council. I'm a family man, 6 children, 6 grandchildren, and I have a small business in the city of Covington I operate. I'm a barber, and I have a barber shop down on 8th and Scott Street in Covington. And yeah, that's about it.
Commissioner Vanderbilt.
So Jerry Vanderbilt. I'm currently Covington City Commissioner. I am a lifelong resident of Covington also. Primarily lived in Latonia all my life. I'm married, and we have 8 children, 16 and 2/3 grandchildren, and 1 more doing this summer. But I went to Holy Cross High School, grade school, graduated there. Thomas More College, got a degree in business, bachelor degree in business. I worked 37.5 years for the Flipside Gas and Electric Company. I was in the accounting department and computer programming. I with business development for a credit union for a few years after that, and most recently and currently, I'm the executive director of Main Street Sports Association. I've been involved with numerous athletic, civic, and church organizations throughout my life. I feel that I'm serving the job. It's been a good run, so I just would like to continue, and let's go.
All right. Mr. Shadley, there's been much discussion this past year that the City of Covington has some major financial problems of running the city within budget. How would you get the budget under control, and what specific areas would you look to for reductions or increasing revenue to improve the situation?
Budgeting is not my expertise in a capacity of this, but it really don't have to be. I run a household, and I run a business, and I'm budgeted through that. I don't misspend. You have to watch your budget and how you spend it. I believe the budget is in a problem because there's been some misspending of the funds. Hasn't been a good seeing eye dog watching the budget. Accountability has not been there. I don't think the whole group has worked together to watch the spending in the budget. More or less it's been an individual act the last couple of years. There's been a tremendous amount of we had a barge we pumped water out of for several months. Finally got that sold. We had homeless people on the river that belongings was took from, and we had to make settlements with. I think a lot of this has been mishandled. It's caused some budget crisis, as well as we've had a big loss of businesses in the city in the last couple, 2 or 3 years. And just this year alone, we've had a tremendous loss of businesses. The B&B Riverboat, White Castles is slated to go out, Julian's down there. This all impacts budget, spending, money, and the design of having the money to operate the city off of. And we need to upgrade a lot of other things, our parks and our areas. I'm kind of a watchdog of spending. I'm on a lower dollar figure, but I think accountability and being letting people know where you're at every few months in the city as far as your budget. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Commissioner Vanderbilt?
Yes, like every city in the state of Kentucky or across the United States, we're required to balance our budget. Issues such as health care, workers' compensation, hazardous pay, those costs for the past few years have skyrocketed. We have no control of it at the local level. It's like unfunded mandates from the state on some of these issues. We have 20-some% increases in workers' comp. Those are not things that we can handle readily. And when we have these pay increases from like $2.5 million 2 years ago, it's going to be $5 million next year. Those are issues that the city has basically no control over the state mandates. We're working with the state right now to address those issues. Healthcare is a problem. We're working with the unions right now. We are addressing that. We will have that under control. We work with the Kentucky League of Cities on our workers' compensation, how we can reduce that. We're bringing all these things to the plate, but I think one of the things, and I disagree with Tom on this, we are bringing new jobs into our city, and our payroll revenues have increased every year, and this past year it increased 8.8%. And we're bringing new jobs in. In fact, the next flyer that comes out, the Northern Kentucky April increase, and there's a whole section of all the new business coming in. We're going to bring, Fidelity's bringing 1,500 to 2,000 new jobs from South Covington. And also, ACB company that was going to leave out of Covington, we brought them out here, we're putting them out with the shopping center. They're going to bring an additional 50 jobs. So there's a lot of small businesses coming to our area. Maybe people aren't aware of them yet, but I think the city is heading in the right direction to take care of the budget issues.
Mr. Shadley, rebuttal.
City's making progress. I'm a long-time resident. I've seen our downtown business district completely disappear. I've seen population go from 68,000 to barely 40,000. I disagree, but we are doing better. It's about time, too.
Thank you.
There's a perception held by many residents that issues of conflict of interest may exist with some commissioners concerning several areas of activity in Covington. Do you think this perception is an accurate one? If so, what would you do to change it? Mr. Lambert?
First of all, I do not believe there's a conflict of interest within the city commission or any of the activities. A lot of times, first of all, the city does have an ethics panel put in place. It's made up of residents, city of Covington. These residents, if someone believes there's a believes that there's a conflict of interest, they've got an opportunity to go to the ethics committee and file a complaint. We have never had a complaint brought to the ethics committee. So, I mean, it might be, somebody might have a perception of that, but it's not reality. If it was reality, they'd be bringing that to the ethics committee and letting them address these charges. Anytime we vote as a board or an individual on activities within the city, our legal staff tells us maybe it's not in our best interest to vote. We recuse ourselves from voting on specific issues. When I worked for the gas and electric companies before for years, they would say, well, maybe you shouldn't vote on issues relative to rate changes or franchise fees or anything like that. And I understand that. Same thing with the Administrative Affairs Association. I do not vote on issues that are important to the Administrative Affairs Association because I don't want anybody to think I have a conflict of interest. But I do not believe that, and that's it.
Mr. Sheldon?
I don't know if I would call it a conflict of interest or not, but if I was elected city commissioner, I'd work for the city of Covington and the residents, and I would protect myself to make sure I wasn't in a position that would be questionable. And on the other hand, I support the Main Street Association and the business people down there. But when you're in the light in public business, you have to be very careful of what challenges you take on. And I don't see where there's a conflict of interest, but I wouldn't want the finger pointing. And I just don't. Well, I'll just leave it at that.
Mr. Lambert?
Well, just to say that there's a perception, anything you do, people are going to take your action one way or the other. I mean, they're going to think either they like you, they don't like you, you make a decision based on personal gain. To me, every decision I make as a city commissioner is what's best for the city of Covington. So that's my final.
Thank you.
Mr. Shadler, what does a livable neighborhood look like to you, and what steps, including a timetable, would you undertake in Covington to achieve your vision?
Well, there's a lot of livable neighborhoods in the city of Covington. Wallace Woods always brings out a lot because they do a lot of decorating in their street areas with flowers and things. Timeline, golly, there again, I don't know, 1 year, 3 year, 5 year. That's another job that's required, I think, of the leadership role in the city is the accountability I was talking about a while ago. But we can have a 5-year timeline, but what happens in 5 years? We're still the same. There's a lot of attractive neighborhoods in the city of Covington. I live in Latonia, and I consider my neighborhood an attractive neighborhood. So it's up to the residents of what their goals are, what they shoot for, what their ambitions are. Everybody likes a different flower or different colored paint or different ways of expressing their neighborhoods. And down on Russell Street, they got some beautiful homes down there, some lovely neighborhoods. I like one of the other questions I was reading earlier about funding neighborhoods, money and things to upgrade and things, and I think that's a great idea. And we'll get on to that, I believe, a little bit later. I just want to touch on that for a moment. But, time-wise, we've had studies in Covington and time frames before. I'm not a time person. I'm a working man. I like working. I don't like to say we'll have this project done in 2 years or 3 years. I like to get them done now and move on to other projects.
Commissioner Vanderbilt?
There's so many livable neighborhoods in our city right now, and I think a lot of, there's time alluded to that. There's throughout. There's I look at one as we have homeowners that take pride in their property and they fix up their houses where the children can play in the streets and feel safe. And when we walk around in the evening, we have a safe environment. And I think we've got many neighborhoods like that. Not all of them are like that, but I think there's the majority or more. I think the rezoning code that the city has just implemented is going to do a lot to make sure home ownership is, there's more home ownership than there was in the past. We're going to break up these large apartment buildings that will have a large number of tenants or renters there. But the code enforcement has done a tremendous job throughout the years of making sure the landlords are responsible for their tenants and keeping their property up. So I really believe that the city is doing a good job, they continue to do a good job, and there's a lot of neighborhoods that people take pride in, and it's in very liberal neighborhoods currently, and I think that we'll see more of that as we go along.
Anybody, Mr. Shuttle?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't want to leave any of the neighborhoods out. South Covington's a beautiful area too, okay? Grass is well kept and cut and clean. We got a lot here in Covington to be proud of, and we have a lot of nice neighborhoods. I don't want to leave no east side at times, we like to think that part of the town needs to be revamped, but they have some nice neighborhoods in that area too. There's some beautiful buildings down on Lower Garrett Street. It's all over the city, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, thank you, Doug.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, what do you see as Covington's three biggest challenges or things you'd like to see changed? How would you enact the change, and what is your timetable? Mr. Bamberger?
Well, I think one of the things I talked about before, one of the major issues is right now the percentages of increase to health care, workers' comp, and hazardous pay is skyrocketing, and that's a challenge because there's some of those we have no control over. But the two of them that we do have control over, we work with, the health care is being addressed through the unions, and I think that once that's in place, the city's got a plan of where the health care is going to go, and I think we're going to see a reduction in the health care cost to the city. And also, I think that workers' comp, we've addressed those issues. We also have to finalize the union contracts, and that's a big challenge, but I think we'll get those done. And lastly, I think that bringing more jobs to our city, continuing to bring a payroll base in, so you don't have to raise taxes to the residents or the businesses that are here. We've been on a very successful run in the city of Covington, but for years, we don't raise taxes, we've lowered them, and I think that's important. So, I think those are the three big challenges, getting the cost under control, settling union contracts, and bringing jobs.
Mr. Shuttle?
Public safety always comes to my mind for our fire and police departments, because that's the safety of our residents. But I'm going to skip over that. I've got some other issues I think of importance as much as they are. The economical growth of the city is always a vital part for taxes, jobs, revenue increases, and I would really love to see a push for more small businesses coming into the city, so the small business people can be more in numbers and group the better encouragement for bringing business into Covington. I'm not bragging, but I bring people into Covington that used to live here and never lived here, from over in Ohio, from Williamstown, Crittenden, Orlando, and Florence. They come in and get a haircut, and while they're here, I hope they stop and spend $1 or $2 at Kroger's or one of the other merchants. But I would like to see a push for more small businesses. We'll get 15 more small businesses, and we got a big business then with 15 more people. I also would like to see accountability yearly from our commission and progress reports, not like I was talking earlier about 2, 3, and 5 year plannings. I think the people need to be informed more often, and I think it's a big necessity to let people know which direction we're heading in. And I spoke earlier about the public safety improvements that we're proud of our fire department and police department and our non-uniformed workers. Let's give them a little applaud too. They're out there in the streets every day cutting grass, cleaning streets, and painting stripes, and believe it or not, their lights are sometimes on the line too, because traffic patterns don't always go around the cone, and they don't always see the guy with the vest out there. But those are three of my main concerns and pet peeves, along with increasing a litter fine to clean our city up.
Traffic patterns in Austinburg, East Side, Wallace Woods, and Vassar Park, and Licking Riverside have presented major issues pertaining to safety and quality of life for its residents. During the past 20 years, several studies have been prepared for and paid by the taxpayers to improve traffic and safety within these neighborhoods, including converting 4th Street between Scott and the 4th Street Bridge for two-way traffic. Over a year ago, the City of Covington paid in excess of $40,000 for completion of the Madison Avenue redevelopment traffic study to help deal with these issues. No progress has been made toward implementation of these plans. Would you be supportive of these projects? And if so, what would be your timetable for implementation? Mr. Shadler.
Thank you. We have wasted I don't know how much money in the last 20 years on studies and surveys, city and county. Why don't we have somebody take responsibility and step up and go to a neighborhood and look at the streets and see how traffic flows and traffic patterns are? Up there by Holmes High School, going down Eastern Avenue, it's a race every morning. Kids walking to school, somebody's going to get killed again. The traffic is just not monitored. It's a speedway. We need to revert this traffic back to our Madison Avenue corridor, to Greenup Street and Scott Street where it's supposed to be, and we need to maintain the traffic flow. I believe the speed limit has been dropped to 25 miles an hour on Scott and Greenup, but I don't think nobody knows it. Maybe the first week there might have been some tickets handed out, but take it back to 35 because they're still going 35. But the traffic flow, the studies, I think we need to get somebody from Frankfurt up here, take a good look at it, and sit down with our developers, our mayor, our commission, city managers, and let's do something to quit having studies. We're only spending money and we're not going anywhere. We're spinning our wheels and staying in the same place. Thank you.
Commissioner Vanderbilt.
Okay. The city last night, they finalized approval on the Madison redevelopment study. The reason they thought it was done because they approved it once before, but it wasn't finalized. So we did finalize that last night. And many of the streets that are discussed here, they're state routes. It's not something that the city can say, you're going to do this, and the state's going to pay for it. So we are working with the state on a lot of major issues, and one of the biggest ones is the 12th Street new entranceway, the city of Covington. We have been asked by the State Department not to do anything on Scott and Green until 12th Street's been complete. We're still looking at different ways of moving traffic around and working with the neighborhood. We're bringing a traffic engineer in. We've got a traffic committee in the city of Covington that's looking at these issues. We want to get feedback from the traffic committee. We want to get input from the residents, and we have done that. The city manager has been working with some of the neighborhood groups in these areas to discuss potential solutions to the problems there. But like anything, it's a matter of funding. The state is going to have the money to come up here and say they're going to give you millions of dollars to change these traffic patterns. Every time you change the traffic signal up there, it's like $30,000. Yeah, I mean, it's not easy to change it from a one-way street to a two-way street or to revert traffic off of here to over here without some cost. Now, if somebody can sell us and come up with the money to pay for this, it'd be real easy, but you got to find the funds to do that first. Also, the city is really involved with the OKI and the Burns Spence Bridge, too. We're doing that right now, and that's a major undertaking. We're working through OKI on that project. So there's a lot of traffic patterns that need to be addressed. Most of them that we're talking about here are state routes. So we have to get the state involved, and we are working with city and engineers and committees through the city to address the neighborhood issues.
Yeah, Mr. Shadler, is that?
Yes, I guess I got a little bit more. But there again, we're working, all right? And that seems to be the plan that we've followed for the last few years. Residents have never asked anything, I don't think, of their neighborhoods or stuff. And I know politics works slow, government works slow, red tape. We still got people that can communicate and talk to Frankfurt, to transportation. We have a lot of state routes and a lot of different authorities. But there again, we have to make pushes. we have to sacrifice, we have to go after some mental tests and get some things completed, get them done. Thank you.
All right, thank you both.
Many cities within this part of the country provide funding to their neighborhoods. Would you support a specific line item dollar amount from the City of Covington's general operating budget to use by qualifying neighborhood associations on projects within their neighborhoods? Give reasons why you do or do not support this idea and what steps you would take to implement them.
Well, currently the city is looking at what other cities. Other cities have implemented this. Some have been successful, some of them haven't. We're looking at how it's worked in other areas. If we could find where it's been successful, we're looking at Cincinnati, Cincinnati where they've done this, and it has worked over there. So we are looking at those to see how they've implemented this. And I think it's if we can, we found a funding source to the CDBG Community Development Block Grant funds, and we could take funds and allocate them to certain neighborhoods. The drawback in one of the things that could be a problem is if one neighborhood has two very great needs and wants the money for a project, and we allow one project for a certain amount of money to each neighborhood, they could lose out on it. But I think that this is being looked at. I know it is within the city staff right now. So this has been brought up by residents. They had the city look at this, and we are, and to see what kind of impact it would have. But I think it's something it's worthwhile looking into, and once we get complete analysis of how it works and the funding mechanism in place, I see this going forward.
Mr. Shadley?
I think it's a great program. I don't know who come up with the idea of it. If it come out of neighborhoods, or if it just came at a discussion somewhere. But I think it's a great idea, and it involves neighborhoods. And that's what's so good about it. Every neighborhood, as I mentioned a while ago, is unique in its own way. And for each neighborhood to take the proudness and the want to dress up, I see no problem at all funding a program of this nature. Whether it works or don't work, if it don't work, that's fine, then we'll do away with it. But that's helped beautifying the city. It's getting people out, talking, doing things in their neighborhoods. Some of us don't even know who our neighbors are. And programs like this is wonderful. So, yeah, I'm very supportive of it. And I'd like to applaud and commend the person that came up with the idea. And I think it's going to impact the whole city. I don't know what the other cities and states are doing and how they got them going, but we should take and learn lessons and bring them home and try them. Yeah, it's a great idea. That's about all I have. Thank you.
Remember anything good?
Bill Miller, who is our new assistant city manager, came over from the Cincinnati Finance Department. Bill's got 30 years of experience in the wealth of dollars, and he talked about this program, and he'd seen it work, and he got a lot of great ideas. I'm not sure if it was directly involved with Phil, but I think that he was one of the ones that led the charge on this. So I think it does have a lot of pluses. And like I said, we'll look at it and make sure that everything's in place, and then we'll go ahead and get it done.
Thank you.
Covington has a number of problem properties that owners have little or no concern for how they are maintained or if they are rental, the conduct of the tenants renting these properties. What steps, if any, would you take to help eliminate the problem? And do you feel a need to update city ordinances, or are existing ordinances adequate to address these issues but just need better enforcement? Mr. Shadler.
This has been a problem for many years. I don't know when they implemented the code enforcement program. We used to have housing inspectors years ago, and they couldn't be everywhere. We only had like 2 or 3, I think, at the time. But we now have a code enforcement officer and people that monitor and drive and look around for blighted properties and things, and that's good. But I don't think it can all be addressed at the proper time. What we have to do is we have to go after the owners of the properties and go after them on a search, a big hunt, and hold them responsible and fine them and make them accountable for their properties. This is a big blight for the whole community, and it's not right to the people that live next door or up the street, or even for the people that live in other neighborhoods, for their city to get in a situation where we can't find the owner of the property. We don't know where the owner lives. I can find him. You can't hide from me. I can find you anywhere. But we need to bring them to justice and make them accountable for their properties. If they don't want to do it, well, then we'll sell their properties. There's a way to do it. That might sound pretty harsh, but I don't know really what I could do. But I know if I was elected to the commission, I could work real hard on making landlords accountable and responsible for their properties, and tenants that live in as well. And another thing we really don't watch very often is when tenants move out, the landlords or the caretakers are there immediately to put the mattresses and the dressers on the street, and garbage is not for 5 days collection yet. So they need to be reprimanded and told too to call for special trucks. And there's a time to set garbage out. I know they're interested in cleaning the apartment out and getting it re-rented, but for us to have garbage for 5 days filled up and down the neighborhood is ridiculous. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Bamberger?
Yeah, the city has taken a lot of steps to change a lot of the codes and put more teeth in the code enforcement laws that we have. You know, the code enforcement department has had over 5,000 calls from people, and they've gone to different properties. They are making the landlords responsible for the attitude of the tenants. We had kicked out the tenants because they have not been good neighbors to the people in the community. I think that the issue is addressed and is being addressed, but we need more of citizen input than anything. You know, the code enforcement department cannot be everywhere at all times. We need the people who live in these neighborhoods to call the police, call code enforcement, let them know where the problems are. And if they don't feel like that, call me, call the commission, call the mayor. Let us know. We'll make the phone calls for you. I had a lady called me Sunday and told me about a problem in her neighborhood that's been out there for 6 months. You know, so we called code enforcement. They went out, they took care of their responsibility. They went out there the next day, take care of the problem. But some people are just afraid to make the phone call. So we got to educate the people, let them know they don't have to give their name, phone number when they call the police or code enforcement. They can call us, but we need to get those people out there helping us take care of the neighborhood and our communities.
Mr. Shadler, rebuttal.
I just think that we need to come down more strictly. Maybe we need more employees for code enforcement. I don't know, but they can't be everywhere at the same time, just like our police departments. But there's a lot of work needs to be done in that position. That I don't think it's being done quick enough. Too much driving around and paperwork. We need some action.
Thank you both.
Crime in areas of drug trafficking, shootings, break-ins, vandalism, and juvenile crimes appear to be on the increase in Covington. Some have indicated the need of additional police manpower for patrolling the community. Others have indicated a need for increasing salaries to keep and attract quality police officers. Still others feel a need to develop an improved block watch program that ties the city's communities in with the rest of the region. What steps would you take to help make the city and the neighborhood safer in fighting crime, and what priority would you give it?
Well, I think as far as police manpower, that's the police chief's responsibility. He brings that to the city manager, and we bring it to the city commission, the mayor, to make those decisions. Whenever that issue has been addressed by the police chief to the city manager, we've always given manpower to do that. A lot of times, people contact the city, and they get on it right away. Residents probably don't know when undercover officers out there in the neighborhood, and that's good. We don't want them to know. But they do respond to critical problems within any neighborhood. Every time there's a problem, people call us, it's being addressed. Now, do you take care of the problem that satisfies everybody in that neighborhood? No, you don't. Because you're never going to do that. The police do a tremendous job, so does our fire department. But when there is a problem, people have to call and let us know and work with us. The block watch program has been successful throughout the city of Covington. We have a lot of block watch and neighborhood groups that are out there and very active. And they make the phone calls, and they clean up their neighborhoods. And they've been successful in doing that. So I think it's very important that they continue to do that. As far as, salaries or getting more police, that's something we negotiate through a union contract. But I believe that the system does work when people work with us to get these issues resolved.
Mr. Shadler?
Crime is on the upswing in the city of Covington. drug trafficking, murders. We've had a upswing in problems when they started working on some areas over in Cincinnati. It's always going to be a problem. I can't say that we need more police. I don't know. Just like Mr. Bamberger was saying, that's up to the chief and how he runs his organization there. And I don't know how we can fight the drug problem hardly much better than what we're doing. But I think there's some changes that we can make to improve our systems. I would like to be a burden to the taxpayers, if I may, and cost them some dollars, and put cameras in high-crime neighborhoods. And that way we don't have to take our police officers off the streets or anywhere else for extra duty, and then cameras can tell us a lot. These other cities do it. They use cameras for traffic control. They use it for crime neighborhoods, but we don't have any surveillance areas in our neighborhoods. And our citizens are crying to us to clean the city up. We're not going to ever be drug-free, but we can make efforts to deter the drugs and the crime. And it's a hard job. And God bless our police department for the work that they do. It's a dangerous job. I don't know if any of us has ever been down in Lower Covington at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, but it's a war zone on the east side. It definitely needs to be more surveillance made down there. I don't know where drugs are coming from, but we need to work on it throughout our whole city. But I think some cameras in high-crime neighborhoods would help us out a whole lot and give us some better clues and better tools to work with. I'll leave it at that. I have other ideas, but I'll leave it at that.
Well, the city of Covington just recently received 5 cameras for surveillance purposes. We're in the process of getting some more with some funding that we have in place. And they will be going up in specific areas in the city that there are maybe considered high crime areas. Drug problems, the biggest problem with that is the other did some people from Cincinnati came over here and earlier this summer, and that was a problem. Biggest users of drugs is people live in the suburbs. They come down here and they surround our neighborhoods and they buy their drugs. And they're the biggest users of drugs. When you look at people get picked up, you look at where they come from, they're not coming to residents that are buying drugs, but they're coming into our city, and we are trying to work to get them out of there. But we do have a lot of undercover police officers to address that problem.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, what is your plan for solving the health care pension problem that is currently or will soon be crippling the city's budget? What action would you take to solve this problem while still attracting and maintaining highly qualified city employees? Mr. Scheidler?
I don't know how Covington is structured for, I believe it's is it self-insured city? Whether that's a law it has to be for its people or not. I'll have to get Mr. Bamberger to answer that for me a little bit later on. I don't know. But I understand Covington is self-insured. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Thank you. And I don't know. We might have to look at some other ways. Legally, I really don't know how to fix this problem. But I'm running for city commissioner in Covington, and from what I understand, that city council members receive a benefit package. And I don't know if I'm talking out of school or not because I can't prove it, or I don't know for sure. But if I was an elected city council member, I would be more than happy to be a part-time employee and give up my benefit package so we can keep full-time employees on their jobs and attract other people in for full-time employment. That falls into my public safety because it attracts your firefighters, your police departments, and we need good qualified people. And for a city leader being a part-time position, it's not a type of a job that you really depend on it for your livelihood. So if I would be elected to city council, I would try to work to get my colleagues to give up their benefits and sacrifice a little bit to give it back to the city, so we can maintain a better group of coverage for our full-time employees. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Bamberger?
Well, the issue of healthcare, we are working with the unions and we have a plan in place currently. And I think that issue will be addressed with the new contract. For years, one of the benefits we've offered our employees in the city, full-time employees, was a tremendous health care package. It was a Rolls Royce. But that was one of the things we were really glad to be able to do, to offer our employees. But I think that they realize now that you can't have the Rolls Royce because of the cost package. So I think our plan is to work with the unions to give them a quality health care program that's got tiers in it, that you don't go when you get prescriptions, you're not going to walk in, you want to ask for generic. You make those different changes in it, it's going to save the city money. So that issue is being addressed. It will be addressed this year within the union contracts. And as far as quality employees, I think we do have a tremendous number of people that care about their jobs. And last night when we had promotions in the fire department, people to build their degrees that they have, and the fact that they get 2 degrees and they've been there 5 years, they want to stay. People they come here and they say it's a great place to live and work. And they're very proud of their job. So I think we will continue to attract value employees, even if we do address the health care package.
Mr. Shadow, any comments?
No, I don't have any comments at this time.
All right, thank you both.
Covington's rich stock of irreplaceable period architecture is what, in the opinion of many, makes Covington unique, attractive, and livable. What measures can the city take to ensure that developers will not destroy the fabric of the city? Currently, many properties have been purchased and are not being cared for, with the hidden intent of some developers to use the excuse that if we cannot save them, we will have to tear them down. What efforts would you take to help preserve and protect these structures so they will continue to contribute to the historic character of Covington? Mr. Benford?
Yeah, we have strict guidelines in place right now to the Historic Preservation Department. We have a Historic Preservation Officer in Richfield City's full-time position. And they make sure that these guidelines are in place. We have a design review board that addresses these issues whenever anybody wants to make any kind of a change to their house that lives in a historic neighborhood. So the guidelines are there, the enforcement is there, and we have residents of several of these committees that make these decisions that what is right for the neighborhood. I think that is correct. We do have a tremendous amount of history in all our neighborhoods. You walk through Latonia or South Covington or Wallace Woods or Petersburg, Rossburg, Licking Riverside, the homes have a unique appearance. And that's what makes them what they are. In Manscross, there's a lot of Victorian homes there. And I think that people come into our city, we appreciate that. And I think we appreciate that. So I think that issue is, we have the plans in place, we've been doing it, we'll continue to do it to make sure that the historic appearance and the preservation of our neighborhoods will be kept intact.
Mr. Shadow?
We've had a good organization there protecting our architectural backgrounds of the city of Covington, and I don't see a problem or anything that needs to be really improved in that area. They do fine work. Being city commissioner, I think there's other issues that are of a whole lot more importance. Not that that's not important, it is. But that seems to be an area that is pretty well taking care of its own. There's a good staff there, providing providing the historical value of a lot of these homes. And a few of them over the years have been knocked down, but I don't think that's really much improvement in that area. Because we can always use improvement, but that area is pretty good. I'm more concerned about some other problems.
Mr. Beverly, anything else? No.
Much study has been given over the past several years to construct a new jail to serve all of Kenton County. Given the past history of ineffective communications and coordination between the Covington Commission and the Kenton County Fiscal Court, what role will you play to ensure that better coordination is developed between these two public bodies and that the new jail is best located to serve all of Kenton County? Mr. Shadley.
Well, I don't know how I could talk or persuade a county commissioner to do something for the city. Even though the city is in Clinton County. I'm an old jail employee. I'm an old deputy jailer. That's a tool that's been used for many years, rebuilding, relocating, and updating the jail facility. I would just cooperate the best I could. We've had opportunities 3, 4, 5 years ago to build a new jail in South Covington, next to Rocky Chevrolet, and that was all turned down and threw away. And I thought it was a great idea and a great place. It cost taxpayers of Clinton County and Covington a lot of money for another survey for a man to pick the best site of 3 locations, and that's where it was told to be built, but that got scrapped for one reason or another, and we're back to a jail issue again. I was disappointed because it needs to be out of the downtown Covington area, and there's a tremendous overcrowding, and the facility needs to be upgraded, updated, and I don't think structurally the building is all that sound. It's pretty old and had a lot of additions to it. I'm not an architect or a designer of buildings, but I've worked in the place, and I've seen some pretty bad cracks in the walls and things from extra weight, from addition of the jail. I don't think the place was built for the capacity of weight. But I would support the commission on relocating the jail outside of the city, downtown city of Covington, because that's our development and growth area.
Commissioner Sanders? Well, I'm sorry.
All right, thanks.
Okay. No, I think we need to continue to work with the county on this issue. We have offered numerous locations within the city of Covington that we feel that might be suitable for a jail. And I agree with Tom, and they wanted to do it, and it was down there in 3L. The people that lived over here thought that was very, you got the NIMBY effect there, and said it was a great idea, but not in my backyard. And that's the problem with this. The jail has to go somewhere. Now, for people who've been realistic at that time, and for people who approved this, or lived up to the word, saying that we're going to put it there, individually they said they wanted to put it there, but when the people came down from Edgewood or whatever and said we don't want it in the backyard, they all rescinded. I don't believe that's going to be the case with the current judge or administration. We have, like I said, we have offered them sites. They're under a mandate from a federal judge to get a new jail in place. Then in the paper this morning, they talked about the new jail. They're looking at locations and purchasing. They're looking for 9 acres of land, I believe he said. But my biggest concern is to make sure that the jail is in close proximity to the largest city in the county, which is Covington. So we don't have, our police officers don't have to take it off the streets for a long period of time. But I think that just to continue to work with them, give them suggestions, and try to make the best of the situation we have no control over.
Mr. Shadler, any comments?
Yeah, not just, thank you, not just working with the county commission as well. I think we should work with all of our outlying areas. But the jail is much needed, and I would support and help the county commission much as possible and cooperate and work with them. Thank you.
Art, business, entertainment, and wedding districts have done much to improve the city north of 12th Street. However, many residents feel that south of 12th Street there has been an increase in urban blight, a decrease in home ownership, and increased crime. What role would you play, if any, to ensure that a more balanced effort is given to areas south of 12th Street that will help improve the quality of life and safety for our residential housing districts? Never?
Well, first, I don't believe that's true. I think that if you look, we did approve that National Corridor Study Redevelopment Plan last night at the City Commission meeting, but there's a lot of positive things going on south of 12th Street. When you look at the County Business Association, they're stronger now than they've ever been. They've got a voice in their community, and they're working hard to bring businesses out here in their area and improve the businesses that are currently here. There's a lot of people that take pride in their businesses in this area. South Covington opened up a neighborhood group, which is very strong. They came down to our meeting last night, and they were very happy that they're working with the city on plans to make South Covington more vital. As I said before, Fidelity Investment, we've been working with them for years. Within the next year, they're going to another 1,500, 2,000 jobs in our city. We worked with a deal with a developer, Tuscany Properties, out to 3L. There's 1,000 new homes out there. Neighborhood programs and businesses, ACB, I talked about before, companies, they're going to locate and bring more jobs up in the area. This is done throughout the area, and I think people lose sight of these. Could be better, of course, everything could be better. But I think we continue to work with them, and all these plans and programs are great. You know, when you try to do something, get it done, but you have to have the funding. And some of these projects, the housing, the new homes being built, the dollar investment, let's get the money into our city. It's going to give us opportunity to maintain our tax structure and possibly lower it down in the near future.
Mr. Shadler?
Having the downtown business district revitalized a little bit is definitely a plus. The art district, I'm all in favor and push for that. It brings people into our community, moving in here, and the architectural buildings up and down the road there. We're bringing people in to invest, okay, to live here. The wedding district, bringing people back downtown for shopping and things. That's all great. It's a long time positive thing happening in downtown Covington, and it's happening. I'm glad to see it. But on the other hand, it's happening south of 12th Street. It's happening can be used as a plus, or it's happening can be used as a negative. Yeah, we're progressing with Fidelity and everything out there, but Latonia Shopping Center, Latonia Business Group is a great bunch, but we need to upgrade our corridor, our business district from 12th Street all the Covington. Why is Covington considered from the river to maybe 12th Street, and that's our business district, and that's about it? We need to be attractive to attract more businesses into the city. We need a panel of people that can sit down and talk to the big business corporate people and invite them into the city so people live here, work here, and spend their dollars here, got a place to shop and spend their money without having to go outside of our city limits of downtown Covington. I'm all for a push, okay, to revitalize the whole city. It didn't get like this overnight, and it can't be repaired overnight. But we need to push all the way up from the river as far south as we can go, east and west, to revitalize our city. And we're going to bring businesses. We're going to bring people in. People are going to buy property. We're going to bring revenue. And we're going to be a big plus. Thank you.
Mr. Member, anything to add?
Yeah, I think Tom did do so that the point fact that there's a lot of development done in the downtown business district, throughout Main Street, throughout the arts district, and that just couldn't happen, because somebody wanted to come in there. The city has worked hard to bring people to that area. The site project is another project downtown that's going to bring people from all over the country here to live. But like I say, we still are building 1,000 new homes in South Covington. We're going to be attracting more business. We have 2 Fortune 500 companies in the city of Covington. And that's fantastic. We have a lot of big companies in our city. So I think we can continue to be better. We always want to strive to be better, and I think we will, and we're making that progress right now.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, the Commission enacted the ward system a year ago. If you're elected, what will be your position on continuation of the ward system? Mr. Shadler?
I don't know much about the ward system. I understand that's how the county elects, and I've been here all my life. I never paid that much attention to it. But I'm not really... I'm for change, okay, and like change, as long as change is for the improvement of the people and our quality of life. But I really don't really personally like a ward system, the way it was implemented. I'll just be straight up, but I think if we want to do a ward system, I think it should be put to the people of the city and let them vote yea or nay for ward systems. Like I say, ward system can be beneficial or it can also be non-beneficial, but I think the people, the voters, reserve that right to choose how they want to choose their leadership and which way it goes. Thank you.
Commissioner Bender?
Yes, well, this is the first year we've had the word system, and I think this is a perfect example of the product of the word system. The fact that we're sitting here tonight, one-on-one, two people living the same word, that are running from that word, they have a debate on issues. And that, to me, is the best part of the word system, that you can actually get this done. We're not having 8 people up there and everybody answers the same question at one time, and you take the top 4 vote getters, or you want to say, who's the prettiest or what. You know, word system, I think you're going to be held more accountable. Now, you can't make a decision on this until after the elections are see, did it fulfill the needs of the city? Is this what we really want in our city government? This is the first year we've tried it. I think you have to sit back and we'll wait till it's over with and then you evaluate it. You can't make a decision right now based on until the elections are over and see how people feel about this. I think the word system is giving people an opportunity to listen to the candidates talk one-on-one against each other. As far as putting it to vote the city, we cannot do that. We looked into with the Attorney General on that issue. What we could take the community to vote on. That issue cannot be voted on by the residents of Covington. That is a decision that has to be made by the Board of City Commissioners and the Mayor. I would have been glad to take that to the Republic, but with that being said, it's not. And we've got the word system for this year, so let's just see how it shakes out, then everybody can make their comments afterwards and see if it's what they think it should have been or can you make it better.
Mr. Shadler, any rebuttal?
Yeah, I've got just a couple more things that, yeah, it might be better, it might not, but we'll just have to wait and see. But, like I say, I'm for change and improvement, and if, we'll listen to what the people have to say. Thank you.
Thank you both.
I'm going to move on to closing remarks. Commissioner Bamberger, start with you.
Well, thank you very much for being here this evening. Thanks, CIVIC, for putting this on, and Telecommunications Board for hosting us. As I said, I've been City Commissioner for 15 years, and I'm proud of the accomplishments I've been able to make through the years. I think the city has come a long way. I know we have. I think we've got a lot of businesses. We've seen our city quality of life in our neighborhood has improved, and I think we get the best police, fire, public works, parks and recreation departments, economic development. We have a better staff right now than we've ever had in the city of Covington. I see tremendous progress being made throughout our departments in our city, and I think that there's a lot of pride in our neighborhoods for the people who live there. I want to continue that effort going on. I think that people look and see what I've done, what I've been involved with, what I stand for, and if that's what they want to see, Commissioner, I hope they vote for me on November 7th. Thank you.
Mr. Shadler?
Yes, I also would like to thank the organizations involved, the group, and the people here this evening who took their time out from their private lives as well. And I'm a candidate in Ward D. I'm very proud to be. I got a lot to learn. I'm excited. I want to go to work for the people of the city of Covington. I want to work for the people, the businesses, the big, the small, the walk and the tall. I want to do it for everybody. I got ideas and plans, and I'm easy to talk with. I can get along with people. I think I'll be a plus. I'm a pretty good negotiator. I've been on a few negotiating teams around for unions. I've been a union man all my life. I've even held 2 union cards. So I'm a man of labor. Also a man that wants to go forward with my city, and I appreciate the challenge and looking forward to serving the city, elected or not elected. I'm not going away. I'll continue my drive. I'll be back in 2 years to either be re-elected or to run for the seat again. And I got all kind of energy, and I want to go to work for the city in all capacities. And I want to thank Mr. Bamberger too for being such a nice guy, and this debate I think was a very, very good thing for the people to see us one-on-one and make their judgment calls throughout the 4 different wards in the city of Covington. And thank you all very much for having me.
If you want to vote in the general election in November, the deadline to register is 4 p.m. on October 10th. If you're voting in Kenton County, you can register at the Kenton County Clerk's Office, 2 locations, 303 Court Street in Covington and 5272 Madison Pike in Independence. You're eligible to vote if you are a U.S. citizen of the United States, you are 18 years of age or over, and you are a resident of the county for at least 28 days prior to the election date. If you're voting by absentee ballot, you can do that 2 ways. One's by voting machine. This will be done only at the Covington location of the Kenton County Clerk's Office. That's at 303 Court Street. That begins on October 13th and runs through Monday, November 6th. The hours you can do so are Monday through Thursday, 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m., Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon. You can also vote by paper ballots. You must meet one of the following requirements to do so. You may do so due to advanced age, disability, illness, or a medical emergency. You are a member of the armed forces or are a dependent of a member of the armed forces. You are a student attending school outside the county of your voter registration. You temporarily reside outside the state but are eligible to vote in Kentucky. Or you are incarcerated in jail and have been charged but not convicted of a crime. Question on voter registration or absentee voting, you can contact the Kenton County Clerk Voter Registration Office at 859-392-1620 or go to the web at www.kentoncounty.org and click the County Clerk link. I'd like to take a minute to thank all the people who helped put on this event together and bring it into your homes. Thanks to CIVIC for taking time to organize the candidates, the questions, and these studio shoots. And thanks to the Telecommunications Board of Louisville, Kentucky, whose staff and television facility has made this all possible. If you're interested in viewing the other debates concerning the Covington Commission wards or any other local debates, hop on the internet and go to www.tbnk.org and check the program schedule for TGC 15. All future air times will be announced at the website. You'll also be able to view the debates on CIVIC's website at www.civicky.org. Thanks for joining us.
Very good.